You've probably heard or seen Kim Jong-un referred to as everything from chairman to supreme leader. In comparison, when we talk about other world leaders, the term president or prime minister comes to mind. Here in South Korea, for instance, Yoon Suk-yeol is just the latest in a series of presidents. But in North Korea, that's not the case, as there are signs that Kim's personality cult is being elevated to that of the highest possible level alongside his late grandfather and national founder, Kim Il-sung. Pyongyang appears to have sought to raise Kim Jong-un's public image by using the title reserved for his grandfather, according to South Korea's unification-ministry. Its recent analysis shows Kim being referred to as president on 26 occasions in state media reports in the first 7 months of this year, up from 23 in 2022. That was also up from 16 occasions in 2021 and just 4 in 2020. The ministry here thinks the North has bolstered the use of the title president for Kim Jong-un as a way to cement his authoritarian regime. He's even often been called Great President, on a par with Kim Il-sung. Kim Jong-un has also reduced his public activities in the first 6 months of this year to around half of the average, although his appearances in public have been trending downward over the last decade. Perhaps it's a case of less is more as the mystique around him grows, and most of his appearances have been related to military activities. We've seen him firing his own weapon, as well as overseeing the development of North Korea's nuclear arsenal. Meanwhile, there's been a continuous rotation of senior military officials, further demonstrating Kim's efforts to maintain his grip on power. But we've also seen the softer side of Kim Jong-un. He's been seen shedding tears in state media coverage on 10 occasions this year, including during July's military parade in Pyongyang. According to a South Korean unification-ministry official, this is the epitome of a tyrant's politics, appealing to people's emotions. But it seems to work based on the regular sight of North Koreans also shedding tears in Kim's presence. His paternal role is also growing. Having been known as a father to the nation's children, that's apparently expanded to young adults too since the end of last year. But it's interesting that the leader's reported economic activities have been limited to barely a handful this year, as the hardship he's admitted to in the past seems to be somewhat alleviating, aided by supplies of summer farm produce such as potatoes and corn. Not that the food situation is easy for everyone, as ordinary North Koreans have been hit by price hikes this year. For example, the price of flour soared 445% in the first quarter compared with the same period in 2019. Amid tight global sanctions, the North's dependence on trade with China was also found to be 96.7% last year. But for what it's worth, remember that famous satellite imagery showing North Korea in relative darkness at night compared with the South? Well, the North's average nighttime illumination has doubled in 10 years, suggesting a more reliable power grid, even if the prospects for inter-Korean dialogue have been dimming.